Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select one team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
New intro. We got Brad Bedell in there already. Quick editing. Newest Bronco Nation News analyst here. It's Wednesday. A little early today, but they got the Inferno practice moved up to 9 o'clock, and I know Brad didn't want to miss a second of the Inferno practice today, so he said, can we move practice up so I can get over there by period 1? And I said, you know what, Brad, we can make that happen for you. How you doing, Brad?
Yeah, I'm great. Good morning, and we covered that shit last week. I ain't going to that thing.
No, that was me saying we need to start this early because we have the Inferno practice. And then also I am flying out this afternoon. You will be flying down tomorrow. Going to have a lot of fun in Las Vegas the next couple of days. You saw the advertisement there, the commercial for the Circa contest, one of our sponsors, Circa Resort and Casino. And Brad Bedell, such a BNN team member that he is flying down to Vegas, going to enter the contest. And then, Brad, you're going to win the $10 million and retire.
Yeah, I'll be lucky to get through week 3. Knowing I'll probably take like Kansas City Chiefs versus Cleveland, and Cleveland will pull it out of their ass, and I'm like, well, that's it.
Yeah, but should be fun. We're going to have some shows and things down there in Las Vegas. Tomorrow morning, I'll be live on Radio Row. And then, Brad, I know Friday, we're going to have a fun show. You're going to be down there with us on Radio Row. And John Molchon, former Boise State lineman that you got a chance to coach, obviously won a Super Bowl. He is going to come, and we'll have a little roundtable. And some folks were saying yesterday, 8 a.m. in Vegas in a ballroom with a lot of other radio stations. We'll have to maybe tone down the stories a little bit. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, you got to see what the other radio stations are cooking. I have no idea. Yeah, this is going to be on you. I've never been, so yeah, you got to that or put us in a quarter like just discipline.
They
put
probably know
Dunk's
better
hands
than to
on
do
him.
that for us anyway. So, they probably will do that just to put us out of the way. But, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Again, live shows for BNN from Circa Resort and Casino Thursday and Friday. We're going to have a meet and greet with the owner. And I can't wait to have you meet the owner of Circa because once all we got to do is tell him you played in the NFL and you'll be, up in his penthouse luxury thing on the 60th floor, just as one of the guys or something. I mean, the fact that he's a great guy, met him a couple years ago and loves sports, and actually introduced him to John. John had the Super Bowl ring when we were down for a bowl game or I think the championship game last year. Introduced him to John, and all I said was, "Oh, you won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady." And you would have thought John owned the place. I mean, he had the key to the city there. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, some meet and greets, signing up for the contest, doing some shows. We actually got about, 10-ish people going down to sign up that are BNN fans or BSU fans. And so we got a couple other couples and families going down. So it's going to be a lot of fun out by the pool and doing some things. And again, tomorrow and Friday we'll be live at Circa. And you still have time. If you want me to sign you up, I'll take your money down there. I'll double it up at the roulette wheel first, and then I'll head on in and we'll you sign you up for the contest. You just have to sign up in Vegas, but you can play from anywhere using our proxy, Tom Carroll. So excited to get down to Vegas later today and do that. But Brad, excited to have you on today, your Wednesday appearance. I asked you, I said, do you want to just do Friday or are you willing to still do Wednesday? And he said, no, I'll do Wednesday too. So we appreciate that. I know folks are excited to hear your thoughts on everything that's going on. And we now, last week we kind of talked about just funny stories and kind of didn't really talk a whole lot about BSU. And now as we're, 10 days away from kickoff and we have a quarterback and we have some news, I think we dive, hard in on the Boise State team on today's episode. And saw you out of practice yesterday. Good to see you out of practice. Yeah. I don't know if you pulled the former coach card or the media card or what got you through the door, but we were excited to see you at practice and catch up with you. And I know you had a good time getting to see things up close there.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to get out there and see him move around a little bit. And they're practicing hard. There's a lot of energy, which you go to expect with Spencer Danielson and his staff. That's kind of an expectation, not I hope this is happening. And athletes make plays, and the offense is explosive. The defense won their fair share. I was impressed with some of the defensive linemen. Obviously, you got a pass rusher and things like that. And then the other thing is there's the one thing that you always want to see in a practice, right, is you don't want one side of the ball to dominate. If one side of the ball dominates, now everybody's sitting back saying, is there a problem? No, I thought it was an evenly balanced, competitive practice, and that means both sides are getting better. You're also to the point here now in camp of I'm tired of going against you, right? It's now you're starting to gravitate towards your first opponent. Okay, and so you're starting to look at them and see what are they running. But you also want your good on good. And especially at Boise's, I think this is a very talented football team. And so you get your good on good, and those are your base schemes and things like that. So it's hard on the players to, let's say Georgia Southern runs a completely different defense than Boise, right? So you have to play both sides. That can be a little confusing, and especially if you're putting some game plan stuff in. But I thought they handled it well. I thought it was, they got a lot of energy and a lot of energy during special teams. I think Stacy does a great job and stuff like that. I think those things at this point in camp, if you're having a lot of energy, it's very competitive, you're in a great spot and feel very comfortable rolling into week one.
We are in the Western Collective studios. And we appreciate Western Collective, our studio sponsor here at Bronco Nation News. Make sure you check out Due West. And I'm happy to announce Brad Bedell. We got to get Brad Bedell involved in one of these, but we are teaming up. So the Horseshoe Collective obviously raises money for the student athletes at Boise State. Western Collective and their 3 restaurants they have there on downtown on Idaho Street as part of the House of Western area. We are teaming up with both of them for some away game watch parties for BNN. So got some cool things we'll tell you about moving forward. But for the Georgia Southern game next week, make your plans now. Had a great call with these guys yesterday. We've locked in the official details. You're going to get the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the Golden Ale that they donate money to the collective, $3 during all Boise State games. They're going to give you discounts on cocktails. I think it's a $15 burger and fries, and it's a big time, fancy type burger, and 10%, all kinds of deals and specials, but $3 beers, drinks off, cocktail discounts, and 10% of all sales goes directly to the Horseshoe Collective during the game. So we're going to try to tap in and have kind of maybe a live appearance on our pregame shows from our intern Jaden, and maybe some from fans and folks at the National. It's going to be at the National inside the House of Western. So you walk in the House of Western, it's the bar to the right, and they're going to have the sound on. They're going to have all kinds of stuff, the game. And then every game, Brad, they're going to have a away game captain, and a former player will be back to kind of hang out and watch the game with fans and meet and greet and things. And so we've talked about Riley Smith doing one, and maybe getting Rid down there, and maybe you, who knows, get a little bit of a pregame appearance from you guys on the pregame show. But I know DJ Schramm, I think, is going to be in the mix for one of these early games. We're talking about Winston Venable. I think he makes a lot of sense for the Oregon game week 2. But again, make your plans now. More details to come. We're going to be giving away a $50 gift card to the House of Western and all the restaurants there if you show up and show us that you're a YouTube subscriber for BNN. We'll have a little table set up there. And so looking forward to that. I unfortunately won't be at any of these. I'll be at the games, but BNN will be there. My wife may come man the station. Our intern Jaden will have some folks down there passing out some free koozies and T-shirts and stuff. And as I said, great drink and food discounts, and you're helping out the Horseshoe Collective at the same time. So if you're looking for a new spot, a new tradition for the away football games, we'll see you for Georgia Southern at the National Bar inside House of Western there, downtown Idaho, for the 2 o'clock kickoff a week from Saturday. Looking forward to that. By the way, Brad, here's the photo. I got you chatting with Spencer Danielson there at practice yesterday, and has to be kind of fun for you, I guess, but also bring back a lot of memories and stuff of what fall camp is like. And being out there, Brad, you looked much more relaxed than I remember seeing you on that practice field years previous.
Yeah, because I ain't got a horse in the horse race. No, it's great. I really like Spencer. He's how about this one? Spencer Danielson, when he was a GA, this is in 17. So we have a kind of an honorary cornhole tournament in our house in California. My brothers, there's about 30 of us, all my cousins. And it's kind of for my dad, who's passed away. So we do a giant family cornhole tournament, and Spencer won the first year, and then his brother won it year 2. And so we have a big trophy that kind of goes to the winner, and then you put your name on it. And so it's like my cousin Steve won with Spencer. The next year, my cousin Steve won it, and the bottom says with his brother. So his brother doesn't even have his name on it. But I think the world of Spencer. I think he's grown in this position, and everybody said when he got hired, well, he doesn't have game experience. Yes, he does. He has a Mountain West Conference title behind his name. That's what he has. Yeah. Okay. So it's the same thing. And I know we're going to get to the quarterback situation, and I'll cover some of this other stuff later, but it's Spencer Danielson. He has game experience, and he's surrounded himself with a staff with unbelievable experience. And that has to happen within, a younger head coach, which is fine. But there isn't anybody smarter. But it's going to come to game management. He's got coordinators, offensive coordinator with head coaching experience. He's got Shenander, who's been a defensive coordinator. He's got Stacy Collins, who's been in this game a very long time. So when it comes to game management, he can make decisions and talk to people. And that is all the game management stuff, guys, is happening in practice. When to take a knee, when not to take a knee. Go down as a running back, don't run out of bounds versus Alabama, and that's a different story. You got to cover those things for these kids. That's happening right now. And then you can pull and give examples of games where mistakes were made and go, okay, what would you do here? Hey, we got a slide, take a timeout, and stuff like that. And all that stuff's happening now. And the staff, he's surrounded by experienced people, and there are going to be some struggles. I don't want to say struggles, but there's going to be adversity. I mean, there's adversity with Nick Saban, who's one of the greatest to ever do it. So I don't want to hear all of that stuff.
Somebody says your volume's a little down. I think it's because my volume is up. So I turned my volume down a little bit, and then folks can now hopefully just turn their overall volume on up. And we are working to get Brad one of these. Now that Brad's going to be doing this every week, Brad, I'm going to get you the official kind of mixer here, and we'll get you some extra. some
I'll be able to
actual
figure that shit out.
we're going to get you some actual podcasting equipment and make this thing. It doesn't sound bad, but we'll make it sound even better than it already does here in the next couple of weeks. I just had to make sure that you were legitimately into this and I didn't scare you off after 2 episodes before I went and bought you the equipment. No, we are excited for this. Somebody says killer new intro. Somebody's asking about the Chris Marshall interview. I did have a chance to interview Chris Marshall yesterday, but just being honest, folks, it was a one-on-one and nobody else had it. And it was really good stuff about his previous stops in his past. And me being the journalist and business owner that I am, I just didn't think it made sense to go throw that on YouTube right away. So I'm going to try to talk to some family members and he's going to send me some photos and I'm going to put kind of a bigger feature story on Chris Marshall and his journey and his second chance. And I take that back, not his second chance. The one thing I'll say is Chris Marshall said, no, this is my last chance. And Chris Marshall realizes this is his last chance after getting into some trouble at some previous stops and now having a new look on life, a new look on where he's at. And Spencer Danielson kind of being a father figure in his life, giving him, I said, another chance. And he said, no, this is my last chance. And so it was really good stuff. And I just didn't want to throw it up there on YouTube and have other media and other people and that just be it. So I'm going to work on a story, talk to his family, get some photos from him of some things we talked about. And hopefully in the next week or 10 days, I will get you that for you guys. But it was really great stuff and powerful stuff that I really liked there. Someone's asking about the pregame show in Statesboro. I'll be at the game. Would love to hop on. We'll see. I'm going to probably do it from the field, Noah, but I'll see if we can make that happen. We'll always love to get fans on there if we can. Brandon Bailey, speaking of fans, asking if Bree will be making any appearances this year. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's the classic that will live on forever.
No question. Depends on what the University of Colorado schedule looks like.
Yeah, and how late into the night we're doing the post game shows, and that was a fun one. So all right, let's get into the quarterbacks here, Brad. You know what? We've been rambling, we haven't got to it, but I want to go ahead and take a quick time out. I just want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick, Brad. I'll just do this myself here. Due West American Fine Dining. Make sure you check them out. Our friends over at Due West. Use this QR code right here for the rest of the month of August, and you get, again, a free appetizer and a free dessert. What are you waiting for? Head over to Due West, part of the Western Collective Group, again, down there on Idaho Street, our studio sponsor here. They've obviously got the Horseshoe Golden Ale and the beer I've been telling you about. But, again, go check out this new American Fine Dining down on 6th Street. Awesome stuff. My wife and I really enjoyed the tableside cocktails. They kind of roll the bar out to your table, and it's a lot of fun. So check it out, Due West. Free appetizer and a free dessert if you use this promo code. I highly recommend and ask that you do. RoePaint.com, our title sponsor. Check them out, ROEPaint.com. I'm wearing the shirt today for Andy Rowe and Company. Concrete coatings. We did it twice at our old house. Going to get it done here soon at our new house. All your interior, exterior, residential painting needs, commercial, industrial, you name it, they can take care of you. Check them out, our title sponsor at ROEPaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union as well. They're supporting Tyson Degenhart. We're back next week with the Tyson Degenhart Show here on Bronco Nation News next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So check it out. And again, branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is the mobile eBranch online banking right there from Idaho Central Credit Union. So check them out, ICCU. And of course, the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show will be back next Saturday. Lithia Ford of Boise, they have NIL deals with 6 student athletes at Boise State, including 4 football players. Next Wednesday, I haven't told this to Brad. Maybe I shouldn't say it on the air and put him on the spot, or maybe I should. But Brad was going to see if possibly next Wednesday, if we throw in a little appearance fee, we can do the show from Lithia Ford of Boise. Jim Sturk, our man, was asking me about that, and I forgot to mention it to you. So no better way to put the pressure on than to do it live on the show here. But if Brad can make it, great. If not, we'll see if Johnny or somebody can do it. But next Wednesday, we'll be hopefully doing the show down at Lithia Ford of Boise and chatting game week, getting you set for the game. But again, Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. All right, quarterbacks, Brad. That's obviously.
Well, hold on. First, I would love to be there Wednesday. I love Jim Sturk. They took care of me when I was at Boise State with my vehicle. So I would absolutely love to take care of Lithia Ford and be there.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I am embarrassed that I forgot to talk to you about that ahead of time.
No, I love Jim. I think they're unbelievable people. So
awesome.
Whatever I can do for them is awesome.
They're one of our big sponsors here, so we appreciate them. So we'll be right there in the showroom and having fun next Wednesday, and looking forward to that. Maybe we'll get Jim on and chat with him as well about his thoughts on the season and things. But he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Boise State supporters in terms of what they put up money wise and things with company, cars for the coaches and stuff, but also just the money they donate to the athletic department and everything. And like I said, one of our bigger sponsors at BNN. So we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise. come join us next Wednesday. You can arm wrestle Brad Bedell, and if you beat him, we'll give you a free subscription for a year. How about that?
Nice. You're going to lose a lot of money. All right, let's get to it. Quarterbacks.
Let's get to the quarterbacks.
Came
Yes.
up today.
Yes. We have a winner. We have, unfortunately, I guess you would say a loser or someone that didn't win the quarterback battle. In this case, we've seen reaction on social media all over the place. We've seen Malachi Nelson delete a lot of posts on Instagram because he didn't want to deal with all the comments that were coming in. Obviously, I know on an O-line, it's obviously much different, but you've been a part of having to pick a guy to start and pick a guy not to start. And obviously those battles across the board are, there's position battles, there's winners, there's losers, there's tough conversations with guys that you've had to have that didn't win a battle at right tackle, right guard, whatever. But none of them are as, and there's several of those that have happened in the last week, but none that are as public and as, I guess, get the interest from fans as the quarterback battle. I guess just generally, before we kind of dive into it, what's your kind of just overall take from Maddux winning the job to the reaction to what it means for Malachi? I mean, you can take it wherever you want, but so your thoughts on the news that Maddux Madsen is going to be the starting quarterback.
Well, number one, I'm excited for that young man winning it, Maddux. I think people that understand, they just see what's happening. Okay, they don't even want to bring up the fact that he battles from injury, limited in spring. I know, he did some individual and things like that, but kind of took down on the team reps, and it shows his work ethic through the summer, and being a leader on that football team and putting things together over the summer. That's got to be a lot of player driven. That's where you're finding your leadership over the course of your upcoming season. Then he comes in ready, studied probably all summer. Not that Malachi didn't. I'm not saying that. But came in ready and he won it. And that's life. Okay. There's a winner and then there's a loser. And I want to say this. Coach introduced the starting quarterback versus Georgia Southern is Maddux, right? That's what he said. Okay. And then immediately the fan base is absolutely torn in half. Okay. You've got the people that were probably boosting up Malachi. I think Malachi's a very good young football player. Okay. Everybody wants to forget that last year was his true freshman season. He didn't play a whole lot, right? So now he comes in, and just because he's got 5 stars behind his name, let's just give him the keys to the car. Okay, let's give him the keys to this Bentley, all right, that we think that Boise State thinks they're going to have. They think they got a Bentley. Okay, this fan base thinks they got a Bentley. So because he has 5 stars, we're going to have him keys to the Bentley and hope he doesn't total the shit. That's not the way this works, guys. That's not the way this game works. If you run a business, you don't hire a young kid to say, you're the CEO. Okay, I hope you don't run it into the ground. That's not the way it works. Okay, you compete for it. One of the things I saw on Twitter is somebody said, we're banking our season on a completion percentage. Well, I hate to tell you this, completion percentage is very tough as a quarter, or very important as a quarterback. If you have a bad completion percentage, I really hope you like to live in 3rd and 10. Because the completion percentage in 3rd and 10 is about less than 20%. You're hoping it's 10%, to be quite honest with you. You want 75% completion percentage to win a football game. Okay, so now, then all of a sudden you got Maddux, who's worked his ass off to win this job, and then he's getting shit on in the media or on Twitter. Okay, I've been shit on. I don't care. And anybody who wants to start talking stuff about, oh, you're the O-line coach, whatever, I don't care. Don't shit on a kid that just achieved one of his dreams as a start at a major college university. Okay? Now, everybody wants to hoopla, okay, about Malachi deleting his stuff. I trust Spencer for what he is, for what it is. He said, I'm ready to compete. I'm going to continue to get better because that's the person he is. That's the way he was raised, and he's going to compete, and he's going to push. If they continue to push each other through the season, it's going to get both of them better. But we're not going to talk shit about a young man who just achieved his dream. And then we're not going to talk shit about a young man because he has 5 stars and everybody's tagged him is he's not good enough. ESPN did a story that says the 5-star, SC prodigy didn't even win the job at Boise State. That is the most outlandish, stupid, embarrassing statement I've seen. It's not fair. So, guys, this coaching staff is experienced. Dirt Cutter knows what he's doing. Okay? Spencer Danielson has got a lot of people talking, and you track it. Spencer said a long time ago in an interview, said, we're looking at summer workouts, camp, everything. That's what it's judged on. Okay? They don't have just 6 practices, and then we're going to name a starting quarterback. What goes into this is almost like a science, and everybody's paying attention. Now, you don't have too many cooks in the kitchen. He's not going to go around to 70 people who should be our starting quarterback. Let's put a poll on Twitter. It doesn't work that way. They competed for it. Maddux won it. And then you need to get around the young man. You got to show the Boise fan base what they're all about. Passion. I love it. It's awesome. But you got to put your 100 in truth. Just he's going to take us, and we're going to go beat Georgia Southern's ass. Then we'll worry about Oregon. All right? But you can't crush a kid on Twitter because he just achieved a dream that he worked unbelievably hard for. And you can't crush a kid who's only been here for 20 practices, comes from a gun system that's really run and shoot, okay, half-field reads to a pro-style offense. You've got to give him time. Time. And give me a quarterback in the National Football League. Peyton Manning was one of them. C.J. Stroud last year, an unbelievable year, and Brock Purdy. NFL quarterbacks struggle if you're a first-round pick. They do. They grow. They grow in the NFL. They grow in college football. He is a young man that's just going to get better, and the sky's the limit for Malachi. Okay? Maddux beat him. Game 1. Let's go. Beat their ass. Come home. Worry about the next game.
Great stuff. I got a couple things I want to unpack there, but before my kid runs off to school, Brad, we're supporting our newest sponsor, Jackson's, by the way. They've got these new trading cards that are now
yeah.
Fridays. Naismith wanted to come in here and show a couple that he got. We'll put him full screen here.
Nice.
Show us what you got here.
I got this one. It's Ahmed Hassanin.
All right. Who else we got?
That's a good one.
And I got a shiny Ashton Genty.
That's a collector's. I keep that one for a long time. I get it signed.
Yep, he got some cards, so we appreciate our friends over at Jackson's. And again, these new trading cards right here. Jackson's sponsoring the Riley and Ridge Show, doing some other stuff for us. Got a chance to meet their marketing folks yesterday. They will be available starting on Friday morning at all local Jackson's locations. So it's every player is pretty much in there this year. They're an upgraded card. I think they're really nice, and they look really – and the boys really enjoyed them yesterday. So sorry to derail your great talk on the quarterbacks.
No, you're good.
Before they head off the bus, I wanted to make sure that they got a chance to show off the cards for Jackson's. Make sure you check those out, and you can get those again Friday at the local Jackson's locations. Okay, the whole what I was saying yesterday is I think a lot of people forget Maddux Madsen, according to another coaching staff, beat out Taylon Green by the end of last season before he got hurt. He had done enough to pass Taylon Green in the eyes of Bush Hamden and Andy Avalos, and now in the eyes of a completely new coach and completely new coordinator, Maddux Madsen has again shown that he deserves to be the starting quarterback. A lot of this is Malachi is not good enough, and we're the back to 7-5 and all this kind of just the ceiling or the outlook for the season suddenly changed in some eyes, or at least some national folks, maybe, I don't know, because of it just felt like some people were disappointed with this decision because maybe Malachi is the more exciting 5-star whatever story. But I think some folks, as I told Jay Tusk yesterday, kind of forget maybe we're not giving Maddux Madsen enough credit either. And I know last year at times, yeah, he had some some near interceptions. Maybe he wasn't the perfect quarterback last year, and that's what some people are going off of. But he's also had 9 months to reflect on that and to improve and to work on his game and to watch more film. And players improve. The 9 games of experience last year, you would think would make him a better player this year. So I don't think you're going to see the same Maddux Madsen you saw last year, but also in the eyes of the coaching staff last year's version of Maddux Madsen was still better than Taylon Green, so who's going to start at Arkansas. So right. I don't think Maddux Madsen, and I think that's kind of where the storylines should turn here, is that maybe this dude's better than people are giving him credit for, and maybe he's going to have a huge chip on his shoulder to prove that next Saturday.
Hope so. And the other thing is, how many guys are on the football field at one time? 11, right? So is it all in the quarterback to win or lose? No. Is a lot of it? Yeah, they get way too much credit. They get way too much blame. And that's a fact, right? And you need a surrounding cast.
This team in particular, right? Like with the running game they have and the O-line and like the receivers, like, I mean, again, I said yesterday, I hate to use the word game manager. Like that's almost sounds disrespectful, but like, just don't screw it up. They don't need him to be, the best quarterback in the country this year.
Absolutely not. And the other thing is, and I'm not comparing the two, so don't even anybody try, but I believe there was a quarterback that got tagged as a game manager by the name of Joe Montana. He was a game manager. He was only 5'9", 5'10". Okay, I don't think there's a problem with a game manager, because if you can't manage a game as a quarterback, you got no shot left. You got no shot to beat East junior high school if your quarterback cannot get in and out of the huddle. Okay, communicate the play, have a command of a huddle, right, and then as a quarterback in a leadership quality, know who to call out, who not to call out, and then it's trust. Okay, and that's everything that I don't know. I don't know what went on in that building. And I don't even perceive to know. But I do know this, is that everything was scrutinized, dissected, talked about, and they came out to the decision. And if you can't respect the decision, okay, that whatever, you could disagree. We could have disagreements all day. That's fine. That's healthy. I like disagreements. I like confrontation, okay? But once the trigger is made, either you're on it, you're full board, don't hide behind your computer, and let's roll and support the team that's going to have the possibility to have a great season. Things still need to come together. You still have to play defense. You still have to have great special teams, and you've got to keep your turnover margin down. That's what wins football games. Okay? And at the end of the day, you need one more point than the other team.
Pretty simple. You make it sound pretty simple.
It's not a hard game. If you go and turn the ball over 7 times, the defense gets 0, you're going to get shit kicked out of you.
Yep.
Okay? You have an effective run game. You're able to throw some play action off that run game. Okay? And if you're consistent and stay on the field in third down, you're going to put a lot of points on the board, like last year when I think 3 games have put 40 points on the board or more. Right? And then it's the same people. This is the same young man that started last year that had a big part of getting them to the Mountain West Conference title and winning it. Mm-hmm. He had a part in that, guys. He wasn't hurt that early. He had a part of it. And so, hey, we won the championship. He contributed to that championship, but now it's like they named him the starter. I'm bored because he's not the Ferrari. He's not 6'3". He's not the pretty kid. Well, you know what? I'll take a game manager and a guy with a high completion percentage and a great leader before a shiny new red Ferrari.
I promised you this will only be a 30-minute show because I had practice, but we have so many questions and comments. I guess I'll just go a few minutes late if you got a few more minutes, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a couple interesting comments here that I want to break down, and I do have a couple more quick sponsors I want to thank. Boucher Real Estate. Check them out, BoucherRealEstate.com. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Help the Raines family buy and sell our home. Kelly, Cade, Sarah, Matt, the whole team. So check them out. Very appreciative, Matt Boucher, BoucherRealEstate.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 locations around the state of Idaho and the surrounding states. Make sure you check them out. Ridley's Family Markets. Download that Skip app. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line. Snake River Pool and Spa. Raines family recently purchased a Snake River Pool and Spa. And, very happy with the purchase. So easy with the installation, the whole process, the setup, and I can't recommend it enough. So they're a new sponsor. We'll be telling you more about them, but they got locations Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Get more information online, thespateam.com. Our friends over at Taco Bell. We'll be doing a show out at Taco Bell at some point, again, here in the near future as well. TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, Nick Alason family. We appreciate them. They're going to be involved in the post-game shows in terms of sponsorship and things. So Taco Bell, check them out if you need a job. They're hiring, and you can get more information. And again, great menu, great prices. Check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. Travis Hawks, enjoyed catching up with him the other night over at our house. We had some of the sponsors over. Brad, of course, decided not to show, but the Blue and Orange Store, the Blue and Orange Store.com. I heard you ran into Mike Prater. You guys both skipped out on me, and it didn't come, by the way. But no, all jokes aside, hold that thought for 1 second. Travis Hawks, the Blue and Orange Store, the Blue and Orange Store.com. We appreciate him. All your Boise State gear, make sure you get it at the Blue and Orange Store. Transportation Compliance Service, TCS, looking to get into the trucking industry. Our friends at Transportation Compliance Service can help you out. So check them out, transcomservice.com. And of course, Lean Feast. I'm wearing the Lean Feast hat today. Love the food over at Lean Feast. healthy. It's affordable. It's great. They deliver. No excuse to not eat healthy anymore. LeanFeastMeridian.com. It's fully customizable, healthy, fresh food. You put it, it's good in the microwave up to fire in the refrigerator up to 5 days. Then you shove it in the microwave for 2 minutes and you're good to go. So check them out. LeanFeastMeridian.com. And as I mentioned, Brad, we're going down to Circa. So if folks want to reach out to me, we can help sign you up for the contest and things. And we'll be talking about, hopefully, Brad, talking about both our, each week, maybe for a couple minutes here about our picks for the week and how it's going. And maybe branch off a little bit into the NFL at times. And hopefully come mid-November, we're both starting to sweat a little bit with the Circa Survivor contest.
Let's hope so. Our successes or our failures.
yeah. Hopefully we have plenty to talk about for a long time on this, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, live shows Thursday and Friday at Circa. Let's see. Coach Bedell brings great perspective, no sugarcoating, no coach speak, just straight fire. That's why we like having you on, Brad. Appreciate that. Let's see here. I support our team and coaches. Maybe the best start to a season we've ever had. Morale is high. Let's see. The QB1 battle. National media is talking as if the coaches at BSU don't know what they were doing. That fires me up. I hope Maddux proves them wrong. Someone's coming back at you saying Joe Montana was 6'2".
Bullshit. I've met him. Until you meet him, don't tell me he's 6'2".
Let's see. Watch the film from last year because Mad Dog absolutely balled out against Wyoming and in several games. That one game against UCF last year, I mean, he led a game go-ahead touchdown with like a minute and a half left. He ran for the first down on 4th and 2. He pushed forward, had the touchdown to Steph Cobbs. Like if the defense doesn't let UCF come down and hit a field goal, and Maddux Madsen leads a fourth quarter comeback over UCF in the home opener, like I wonder if the story's any different just because of that game alone.
Probably. Like I said, you need great defense, special teams, and you need to score more point. Everybody wants to say, and this is actually a good thing, is comprehensive football or play together football. Together football isn't segmented to offense. Offense, you guys play together. Special teams, I hope you guys play together. It's a one team. You got to be complementing each other. If you turn the ball over in your section of the field, defense, you have to step up. You have to work sudden change. And you do work sudden change. Because sudden change is you're making, let's say I'm over there and they're bringing this pressure, right, that we weren't anticipating. So I got to fit the run game to it. Well, in the middle of that, our defense, boom, got a turnover. Get up, go, let's go score. Okay, and then, work everything out. That's sudden change. That's playing football together. You got the turnover, let's go score the points. Okay, or we give up the turnover, defense, stop them. If at worst, hold them to a field goal, right? And then that is playing just everybody's together. You're playing football as a program. And you need that to win football games. And they've showed that, especially later in the year when the defense became very stingy. Okay, very stingy.
Now, one of the reasons, I guess, that Malachi Nelson, I guess, is not quite ready, I guess, just he's obviously adjusting to a new offense, new terminology, new everything. And Texas Bronco wants to know, Coach, what is the main reason more college teams don't use a pro-style offense?
Well, I think number one is pro-style it incorporates a lot of shifts and motions and things like that. And the new style of offense is we can use SC, we can use UCF, we can use TCU, things like that. Their goal is to go as fast as humanly possible, right? Fast. So therefore, they're using some checks, okay, but you kind of call the play and eat the play. So let's say you're running inside zone into a low safety. That low safety, when I mean low safety, he's within the linebacker depth. It's hard to account for him. Where in the pro-style offense, you can flip a play. You can go, no, check, opposite, or whatever you want to say, is now you can run away from that high safety. Okay, and now he's making a profile tackle for 4 yards rather than a head-up tackle. You got to make him miss in the hole to score. Okay, so that's the difference. A lot more checks, shifts, motions, create an extra gap, things like that. The other thing about a pro-style offense, which I love, is you can run inside zone out of 40 different formations. And it's formation. What I mean by formations, you can shift, you can motion, you can hide some things, right? And then that creates confusion. Okay. And pro style it's a check oriented system, shifts and motions and things like that. And that's how you kind of keep people off balance, defenses off balance, and safety rotations, things like that, which helps protections and things like that. Where pro style or college football right now is I want to go as fast as I can, and then we're going to eventually hit the explosive play on you.
BSU Bill wants to know your thoughts on the NCAA going to the NFL model where the QB will now have a basically an earpiece and will get to play and be able to talk to coach, and said I would think having Dirk talking to the QBs would be super valuable.
Oh, I think it's awesome. It's unbelievable, like at that level. And you guys could see it. You actually can YouTube some of this stuff, and it's amazing. Like, so they click it, and that'll shut off. I think it's 12 seconds in college football. I'm not totally sure on that rule, so don't hold me on that, or don't
15,
quote me on that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something in that range, right? Well, you start it with 40. So you get in the huddle, and let's say they formation, play. Hey, you got to be alert for the field safety right now. You got to be alert for the free safety right now. Or you get in the head like, hey, we're throwing the shot here. The play, hey, O-line's got to hold up. So you can actually give little things to a quarterback, and it helps, right? Where
like you would in practice if they're kind of standing behind the huddle or something in practice.
Exactly. Where now, let's go back to our last conversation of the teams that are just speed, speed, speed. I'm very intrigued on how this is going to work, because you still have to signal the formation, because the quarterback just has the mic. So now your skills still have to look. So they got to see the formation, and then he's talking to the quarterback's ear, getting the play and all that, and then he can use some tricks of the trade. But then they're just telling the O-line what to do, right? So they're telling them the play, and then we go. I'm thinking it's going to be interesting to see the huddle. I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think a huddle system has a lot more advantages to the microphone and the quarterback than a speed up-tempo offense. I'm very intrigued to see how that's going to work.
Josh was asking if we're starting at 8:30 now. No, that was just today. We had practice starting, and there's some other issues, so I apologize if you came in late and missed part of the show. Go back and watch that. Brad, final thing, I guess. We'll continue this on Friday with you, and looking forward to having John Molchon on. We'll save the John Molchon stories for Friday, but we'll have some fun on Friday morning down there at Circa. But just to kind of sum this up, I guess, from the coach's perspective, I am curious about the 5-star ranking, and I know that that's a big deal right here. That Jack Sears was 4-star USC transfer, came here, it didn't work out. 5-star for Malachi, doesn't work out. Like, aside from, I guess, maybe you tell me if I'm an idiot, but maybe a school at some point would use that as negative recruiting against Boise State. Like, you're not gonna get any time, or you're not gonna give you're a big next time this happens. But like, I don't think, in my opinion, like the coaches care, and like obviously they don't want to lose Malachi, but like you play the better guy, and if somebody leaves, you go find somebody else. Like I don't think the star ranking and all that kind of stuff, in my mind, especially with the way the system's set up now, really matters that much. But what do you make of just the anointment of the 5-star and the obligation of a coaching staff to play the 5-star guy or lack thereof, obviously, and just kind of the perception of the higher recruited guy, and then what that means for him or for the team or for recruiting in the future. I saw, other 5-star guys aren't going to want to come to Boise State because they know that they're not going to play. I mean, how do you just kind of, as a coach, put all that into perspective?
Well, no, I mean, first, I mean, not Malachi's a wait to be seen, first of all. Second of all, I don't think stars really matter, because you're evaluating for your program. Right. And so there's a lot of things that go into evaluation. Like, for instance, for me, or places I've always been is like, okay, you got him. You got the young man's name. I didn't even look at stars. Okay. I don't, because right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't know who gives the star evaluations. I don't know that. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know. Is the star evaluation off of 7-on-7? And as a quarterback, you have all day on 7-on-7. Your completion percentage is going to be through the roof. So what are they looking at? Okay, number 2, don't look at stars, because a star does not determine a kid's practice habits, study, football intelligence. A star is, can he make the throw, how big of his arm, how big he is, and how many offers he has. Okay? And so as this goes, stars are based off of athletic ability. Okay, and that's awesome. You can see a 5-star. When you turn on a tape in athletic ability and all that, you can go, yeah, he's going to be a highly rated kid, whatever. But You were recruiting these young men to your football program. He's got to fit your culture. You're putting these young men in the community. How is this young man gonna have it? Now, let's say they're going to battle this. Oh, the 5-star hasn't worked out in Boise State. Well, we've won a lot of championships. We've won a lot of games. And now we're going to compete to go to the playoff. So the other thing is, and I'll say this to the truth, if you were recruiting a 5-star young man and that young man wants just hey, if I come in, are you going to start me? Then that may not be the place for him, because you have to compete at Boise State. You have to compete in life. And if he just wants entitlement and just to step on campus and go, you are now the starting wide receiver, you're going to lose you're going to lose credit as a coach, because this young kid came in and because we think he's a 5-star, he's the starter. That's not the way it goes. So you can tell me, you can go, well, Boise State says I won't play. It doesn't work out with you guys. Well, every young man is a different situation. Every kid has his own personality, okay? Has different parents, things like that. So therefore, you're coming into Boise State as a 5-star to compete. And if you win it, it's yours. If you don't, you're going to continue to get better, continue to compete, and you'll see the field. That's the way it has to go. And this whole NIL world and the transfer world is this. I'm speaking as a coach. You win, you keep your job off of wins and losses, not how many guys go in the portal. Right? I mean, if you're going to have 20 guys jump in the portal, but you won 10 games in the conference title, people are pretty happy. Now you just got to look back and go, okay, who are we losing? Then you're going to refill it with the portal. That's the way we live life right now. And for the people out there, if you lose sleep of every kid that gets into the portal, you're not going to sleep for the next 6 years of your life. You can't. You've got to trust who they're bringing in and that they're the right fit for Boise State. And I trust that. And if you didn't pay attention right now, this staff can recruit. Okay? Can recruit. Now, you get them on campus. You coach them as everybody else. And that's the key thing about this. You coach them like it's Ben Dooley, who's been the starter for a long time, to a freshman, or the junior college transfers. You coach them the same. And then if they play, they start, awesome. Everybody's happy. If they leave, that's their personal decision. You can't base it off of, oh my God, he's going to leave. No, I'm winning. I want to win games because that's how I keep my job. You put the people on there that you think is going to win that week. Does it change week to week? You bet your ass it does. If somebody doesn't play very well, you replace them. That's the way it goes, because you got to win week 1, worry about week 2. And then after week 1's evaluation, you sit down and go, hey, did some good things. It's not quite good enough, so I'm going to open it up to practice. If he plays better than you at practice, he's going to start.
I still think at some point, I don't know how, why, which way, but I mean, I don't think we've that Maddux Madsen is just going to start and play every snap all season in all 14 games. I mean, I don't know if it's an injury or whether a struggle and they give him a chance or what happens. I mean, I still think Malachi Nelson is going to be a factor in this season at some point here if he continues to develop. And so we'll start with Maddux Madsen. We'll see what happens here moving forward. Obviously, it's a long season, and it's just one of many storylines on this team.
Yeah, but real quick, I would agree with that statement wholeheartedly. But I also want to say this. Young kid's going to make a mistake. Max is going to make a mistake. So don't shit on him and say, oh, this coaching staff doesn't know what he's doing. He threw a pick. Guys, nobody has never got –
the first interception at Georgia Southern.
Oh, my God. It's going to – if he throws a pick at Georgia Southern, the whole world's going to crash down. Okay? Guess what? It's going to happen. So before you guys even – it's going to happen. And if you just – it's like if you just pull the kid because he threw a pick, that doesn't work. He's got to battle through stuff. It's like a pitcher, right? You're a baseball guy. The Cardinals, right? You and Ritter, are you a Cardinal guy?
Yeah, I am, unfortunately. I shouldn't admit it now. We're almost in last place.
You guys suck this year, but that's okay. But it's like this. Have you ever watched a starting pitcher? They make them battle through stuff. You have to. You've got to make people battle through stuff. Adversity makes you better. So let's not shit on the kid. Call him. Some of the things I've seen on Twitter are just disgusting. But let him battle through it. And if it continues, then you trust the coaching staff to make a decision which they think is best for that football program who are in the building. I'm not in the building. I don't go in that building. I go to practice, but I don't go in that building. That's not my realm. I'm not in that building anymore. And nor should I be. And so you got to let kids grow, and they learn from mistakes. In my life, I've learned from more mistakes than I have through success. And if you let them battle through it, and then if it continues, then you got to sit down and go, okay, we have to evaluate where we're at. And it's a constant evaluation. That's why you have to trust the coaching staff. Everything is evaluation. The way you conduct meetings, evaluation. The way you jog on and off the field, that's an evaluation. What you put on tape is an evaluation. What kind of grades you're getting, that's an evaluation. What kind of community are you? Are you good in the community? Are you a good person? That's an evaluation. These kids get evaluated on more stuff than people ever would know. And you just got to continue to trust this coaching staff that they made the right decision. Get behind them and go win. And go in. And if it doesn't go that way, you trust the coaches that they'll go back and reevaluate things. And if you're not in the building, you have I get it. It's a free country. It's amazing what these little fingers will do on my phone on X. You have your right to an opinion. I'm not saying you don't. But you know what? Some things you put on social media can also dove the wrong tale about your recruiting too.
Yeah, and that's maybe something to hit on Friday or maybe even next week, kind of the recruits read that stuff and all that kind of stuff in terms of social media comments and things like that. But Brad, you mentioned Rid last night. Hopefully folks checked out the Riley and Rid show. They had Steph Cobbs as their special guest on last night. You can go back and watch that on the YouTube channel tonight, 8:00. It's the debut of season 2 of Ball Talk. Mike Sanford, John Mallory. 8:00 tonight. That's an old graphic I put up there. It says Monday. It is Wednesdays this year. New season, Wednesdays at 8. Tonight's the debut episode. So a former Boise State quarterback that was in plenty of quarterback battles when he was a quarterback at Boise State and has been a part of quarterback battles and picking a winner as a coach. Well, as a coordinator and as a quarterback's coach, we'll get into all that tonight. I would expect great stuff on the QB battle with Maddux Madsen and Malachi Nelson from Mike Sanford, John Mallory. Again, 8:00 tonight on Bronco Nation News. And then Friday, Brad Bedell and I will be live from Circa Resort and Casino. And one of our favorites, I know one of your favorites, John Molchon, Las Vegas resident, going to come over and join us live. That's going to be fun on Friday, Brad.
No doubt. It'll be fun. It'll be great to see him. I haven't seen him since his wedding, but he's doing well. And, you know, I'll get some of the things. He's got a really funny story that I'm really hoping he'll put on out to the public. Not with us, when he was in the NFL. Remember, he played with Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, we'll get plenty of stories. We'll have fun. Well, that'll be fun. On looking forward to that on Friday. Looking forward to tomorrow. We'll be at Circa as well, and so looking forward to that. Brad, I think it's just physically impossible. You're too good, and I talk too much as well to keep this thing under 30-35 minutes. So I may just have to add another zero to your paycheck here and plan on this thing being 45-50 minutes every week, I guess.
You're good.
Appreciate it, man.
Keep the pay it is. I enjoy it, and I think if anything, what I really like about this thing is what you do for the local community, and two, for the student athletes of Boise State that need everything they can.
Well, appreciate you for saying that. A lot of great comments coming in again on your comments today, and folks are glad to hear your thoughts. And so again, tomorrow will be me and Johnny, and then Friday, Brad, and we'll have John Molchon with us live in Las Vegas on Friday. So the owner of Circa Resort and Casino, Derek Stevens, will join me on tomorrow's show. So make sure, I believe it's going to be 9 a.m. Pacific, folks. So you got on me for being early today. We're going to be late tomorrow. We'll start at 10 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. We'll be an hour later, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. And then we'll have some special guests, including the owner of Circa Sports, Circa Resort and Casino, Derek Stevens. A lot of cool things going on for contest weekend. So again, if you want to enter, last chance, $1,000. You can do the Survivor. You can do the Millions. We can sign you up in Vegas. Brad's going to put it all on blackjack, one hand. And then if you win, hopefully we win, we'll double it up. And I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. You never know what happens in Vegas. You've never been to Circa, right?
I have not, but it's always been I've always told my wife it's been a kind of a bucket list thing. It's like when I'm done coaching, I want to go to the pool. I mean, that's something that I've wanted to do since they built it. I'm like, it's like we have to go.
Well, we'll be out there tomorrow afternoon. There's kind of a pool party. We'll be having some drinks, hanging out with a lot of the big wigs at Circa and some other media members and stuff from around the country. And then Saturday morning, Brad, I know Friday is going to maybe be a fun night, but if we can get up in time, I think it's 9 a.m. in Vegas on Saturday. You got Florida State and Georgia Tech. We can get out by the pool and watch some actual college football Saturday morning by the pool.
Is that Saturday morning?
It is. Week 0. Florida State. Now I just got you excited even more.
Yeah, I mean,
actual football, week 0, Georgia Tech, Florida. Are they in Dublin or where are they at? Georgia Tech, Florida State. They're somewhere over in England, I think, or somewhere, and Ireland somewhere. And it's 9 a.m. in Vegas. So we can get out there and get some wagers in and have a few mimosas, I guess, before we head to the airport and watch the game. That should be fun.
It'll be fun. I look forward to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing John and everything else that's going to go on.
Yeah, going to be a fun couple of days. So let's see. Ryan McDonald says, great to hear y'all. Bedell was an awesome guy to work with during my time back during summers at BSU. So a lot of folks loving having Brad on. We appreciate it, Brad. We'll see you in Vegas. I'm going to head down to the end of practice here. Probably a smart move if I'm going to show up late to a practice that it's the Inferno practice that I'll miss the first half of. I'm really sad to hear.
You're a wise man. This should be this should be the last one, I'm assuming.
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
Full pad Inferno practice today too. Full pads. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't go soft on them. This is when you kill them. I mean, the last practice really at camp, they started class, which makes it even worse.
Yep.
And so now get them dog tired. Let's go. Get them
their
dog
last
tired.
Real tough, full padded practice, and they'll have a couple walkthroughs and things the next couple of days, or light shell practices, and then kind of kick off game week Sunday night, whatever it is. So, I appreciate it, Brad. We'll see you in Vegas. Thanks to everybody else. We'll get some interviews up on the BNN YouTube channel this afternoon. We'll talk to you at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, an hour later than usual tomorrow from Radio Row at Circa Resort and Casino as part of their contest weekend. So go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can. Subscribe to all of our social media channels. Make sure you give Brad Bedell a follow on Twitter as well. We got to get him some more followers. Check us out, BroncoNationNews.com. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com from the Western Collective Studios. Our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. We'll talk to you guys.